Welcome to another edition of Cut the Chat. Half of the usual suspects in the house, myself. And
it's just a Little Man and Damon show now.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
I think that's what it's become.
Just say like and subscribe because a lot of people's not liking and subscribing.
We normally said that at the end, but okay, so...
Well, just do it now.
Just do it now.
So,
we'd like you to like and subscribe.
Yeah.
You've been watching views, people's been watching it.
Yeah, subscribe. If you haven't subscribed, what did I do? What did I do on the other podcast? So, 70% of viewers right now haven't subscribed. So do me a favor. Do me a favor. Just press the subscribe button. It will really help us out.
Get our numbers up so we can make some money. Because without no money, this ain't gonna happen for longer.
Yeah, because what we need to do, this is Lee's second hat. By Christmas, we need to get him up to 5 hats.
Yes, please.
Yeah.
Yes, please.
We had the mustard one that I was rocking the other day when we was away.
Right.
The mustard one slapped. What's this?
This is another knit one. A Caribbean woman made this, and I
rate that.
You know what I'm saying? I supported.
Yeah.
But then I nearly extorted her, and because I thought to myself, if I get her to make me 10 of them, and I sell them for triple the price that she selling them to me, then I thought I can't do that to her, man.
Well, why
but
not?
She was happy to sell it to me.
Why not?
Look, this hat, she sold this to me in the summer, for a tenner.
Okay.
Now, if you know about hats, this is a knitted hat, made myself.
That knitted hat, that's about 35, 40
30
quid.
You know what I'm saying? If it was branded, even if it was branded, maybe you can get 50, 60 pounds,
So she's over here, Jamaican woman over here.
Yeah.
Okay.
So she was
watch the
knitting
podcast?
all different. So I bought 3 off of her.
Yeah.
I was like, that will take me through the winter.
Yeah.
But then I was thinking, I'll get this woman to make me 10, 20.
Yeah.
And then just sell them hats.
But that's what businesses do.
But then I thought I couldn't do it to my people though.
Well, but do what?
If she's selling them to me for a tenner, I couldn't then sell them
If
for 40.
she's selling them to you for a tenner,
I got them for, I got 3. I got 3 for 20.
Are you getting friends and family discount?
No, she didn't know me. She just sold them to me in summer, innit? Because she said they're not selling in it.
Right.
And she just makes them just to,
Right. So if you're not getting any form of special treatment and she's not giving you a discount.
No, she's probably giving them to me for £2. She's that kind of woman. She's so nice.
I'm not saying that, but if she's not giving you any special treatment, any discount, is there anything wrong in flipping that to make a money? Do you understand?
Right, what? Saying to her what?
You don't have to say anything to her.
Just drop her a little change here and
If
there.
you went and bought, if you said to her, I will buy all of your stock every
How much?
month,
How
you
much?
just continue knitting, whatever you make, I will purchase.
Right.
Sell them to me at whatever you want to sell them to me at. Don't sell them to me at, he's buying 50, so I'm going to make it, no. You sell them for what you want to sell them to me for. You take them and now sell them for triple, even quadruple. Do you think there's anything wrong in that?
I don't, but is it a moral thing on my behalf? Because she's a Caribbean woman and I think we should be
So
getting half.
it would be okay if it was a woman from a different ethnic
100%,
background.
100%.
I rate that.
100%.
I would spud you, but
Well, you know what? It's like in business, isn't it? When you see someone, well, not business, but if you see someone you can identify as that could be your auntie or something, you feel like, you know what I'm saying? No?
Yeah, absolutely.
If you're from somewhere else in the world, I might be like, you know what? Yeah, let me get that for.
So then when you go Caribbean shop, why don't you give them more money than what they're actually charging?
I give them what I would charge for the yard. The yard food can't be expensive. It just can't be expensive to me.
You know why that is so, I hate when people say that.
Yard
That
food
is
can't be expensive.
A mad problem.
But I eat yard food every day though, by the way.
But it doesn't matter. So what? Why can't it not
So
be
what? I
expensive?
should be paying more. How much should I be paying? How much should I
But
pay?
here's the thing: if you went to
Yard food's not £5, you know.
If you
Yard
went
food's
to
£12, £15 anyway. That's decent. That's a fair.
if you went to a different restaurant selling a different type of food,
Like?
Thai, Indian,
yeah,
like Pan Asian,
right.
you would happily just spend the money that they charge you.
I'll tell you what. See me. I will pay for experience as well. So the food's decent but the experience is good. Like the restaurant's clean and it's nice and bougie. I can justify putting a contribution towards that. Do you know what I'm saying? But then I can eat in a shack.
The
if
problem
food's
I
banging as
find
well.
that people have is because they always believe I can make this at home. My mum can make this. My aunt can make this. Why am I paying? Like, I have this problem with Yum Yums, a couple doors down from the barbershop. So many people go there and they're like, oh, my man's expensive. but his food bangs. The food actually. You remember when you had the wrap the other day?
Yeah.
And it was like £10.
Yeah.
How long did that wrap hold you for?
Yeah, hold me for the day still. I don't think I ate after that.
It's proper food.
Yeah.
Like,
But 10 shillings is a decent price. Would I pay 20 though?
no, but
Would
a
you
lot,
pay 25 though?
But a lot of people complain that mine was expensive. You go get a meal.
I've never complained about Caribbean.
So
being
many,
expensive,
so
to be
many
fair.
people doing this. It's like, why are we doing this to our own people? Because if we go somewhere else, you're paying the money. You understand? And not even thinking. Like, imagine there was a proper Caribbean restaurant, and if there is, I apologize. I don't know of any.
What a sit down
Off the top of my head, in West End, in that Mayfair Square.
Yeah, if there's a proper one.
Yeah, because man's happy to spend like a $150 per person going to like
Turtle Bay?
another. I said in that Mayfair Square. Yeah, and
Turtle Bay is making paper,
That
you
will
know.
never be in there. But
They're making paper.
They've identified their target audience.
They
and
worked on the ambience, and
Of course.
and yeah, they've done it that way.
Remember, like, I went Turtle Bay years ago with Ice in Brixton. I had a great time.
Yeah, but the food.
But it's what you said. The package was
it
was
banging.
packaging.
Yeah.
You
But the
understand what I'm
the
saying?
food is meaty.
The food was meaty, but you see, if you're going out, certain times I'm not going out
You just need a food
get
to hold you.
A1 food. You understand what I'm saying?
Right.
What? Sorry, I can see movement in my peripherals.
we've got
We do
introduced.
have a guest.
Got a guest today.
He's one of my oldest friends. One of my best friends. You've heard me speak about him on the podcast many a times before. I would have probably used racial slurs when referring to him.
Sure.
I'm going to refrain from doing that today because this cancel culture is just moving a bit strong. Introducing
The one
to
and
the
only.
podcast, live and direct, the one and only
Let them know.
Curry Muncher from down under.
Hey.
Curry muncher.
Oh, you had to come out, didn't it?
So,
Why for that? Why
What's
for
going
that?
on, brother?
Wagwan.
Yeah.
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 Blocko,
yeah.
blocko.
Big man, calm down. Calm down.
This is the
I'm
white
learning.
one,
I'm
by the way.
learning.
So I mean, talking
Talk to
about
me.
we were
Yeah.
just talking about food and eating out and dining experiences. Do you when you go out to eat, do you go to Indian restaurants?
Yeah, all the time with my family, with my parents in particular.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you have this, or do you have this kind of like it wasn't all that, it wasn't that, constantly comparing it to your parents' food, or do you know what I mean?
Yes and no. We'll compare it. If it's a curry, a North Indian curry, we're comparing it, right? We're comparing it. We're comparing the quality. We want to compare how it tastes. And in terms of price, when you guys were talking about price, I mean, there's a sweet spot, right? You're willing to pay a bit extra if it's good quality, if it's good ambience, if the mood is right. But it can't be beyond a certain kind of amount, because then you're like, we're not getting value for money. So it's kind of like value. And what is value? Value is good quality food, good taste, good experience, good service.
Okay.
Yeah.
So obviously you've been here a couple of times.
Yep.
Over the last 20 odd years.
Yep.
You know about the more affluent areas of London.
Yeah, sure.
Your Mayfairs, your
Yeah.
Knightsbridges.
Yep.
The equivalent to those areas in Sydney,
Yeah.
if you had an Indian restaurant in those, because there's a few Indian restaurants in Mayfair and Knightsbridge.
Yep.
And obviously you're going to be paying a premium
Yep.
for that. Would you be cool with
Yeah, we'd expect that. I mean, look, you're thinking about what the rent's going to be like. You think about what the quality of the restaurant's going to be like. You're going to expect to pay a little bit more for a place in a kind of more a suburb or a part of Sydney that's a little bit more bougie. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, you're going to expect to pay more. But then again, how much more would you be willing to pay? I don't know, 10%, 15% extra for a bit more bougie, a bit more quality kind of ambience and so forth. But nothing excessive, right? Because again,
Are there restaurants that are overpriced though?
other what?
Are there restaurants that are overpriced?
Yeah, in Sydney, yeah, there's bear restaurants. So, yeah.
Like Indian food.
Look, there are only a handful of super bougie, super high-end Indian restaurants in Sydney. Some of them are a little bit overpriced.
Do they have
But
Indian
then
people working in there?
They have Indian people working there.
When you go in there, do you do accent?
No, you know what?
What do you mean accent? Do you mean the language, or do you want me to talk like English with an Indian accent?
Yeah.
So do you want me to talk like this?
Yeah, do you do a little bit?
No.
Or do you give that, or you just talk your language?
We talk the language and we don't talk the accent. My parents are going to be talking in an accent because their English is with an Indian accent, right?
Right.
Because for those who don't know, curry muncher means Indian, right? Because you guys don't use that. Well, you guys don't use that over here.
Curry muncher?
Nah, do you?
I've heard it. I've heard it.
You've heard of it, but you don't use it, right?
To be fair.
You're using Asian, and
like,
then in a derogatory way, you would use a P word, right? But anyways, no, I'm not speaking Indian accent. I'm speaking my normal accent, which is this, my Australian accent.
Right.
But I will speak to them in Hindi when I need to.
Right.
Yeah, and they're cool with that.
See, the funny thing is, I've always lived next door to Indian families, and I have loved the food from a kid. I've loved Indian food. And I've always been close with the culture anyway. Like, do you get what I'm saying? Because they've always been around. Like when it's whether it be like Eid or do you get what I'm saying? Like, there's loads of food around. Yeah. They've always made me feel welcome. Yeah. I've never felt like they don't. Do you get what I'm saying?
Gerard made me my first proper curry.
Right.
Like proper curry.
What, like hot curry?
From ground up.
It's not hot. It's so I'm watching Gerard. We're in Sydney and I'm watching Gerard make this curry. He's like, listen, you're here. I'm gonna cook you a curry,
right?
Whatever. And I'm watching him cook this curry. Yeah.
Just chopping up bare spices, like he's the
bare
man
spices,
like the
grinding, chopping up onions, chopping up ginger, garlic.
I think he might even brought out the pestle and mortar thing. You understand what I'm saying?
I did that.
He was going in, and I'm watching him make this curry.
Right.
And for the whole time I'm watching him make this curry, I'm like, so when you gonna add the sauce, big man?
Right.
When you gonna add the when are we gonna get the gravy cracking? And he didn't. At no point, there was no like.
What is it? Just water?
No, hold on. There was no coconut milk. There was no. There was none of that.
Right.
Yeah. And I'm looking at this bowl and I'm like, what the fuck is this, brother? Yeah. And literally like onions, peppers, you know, what other herbs and that I can actually physically see with, I think it might have been chicken.
Yep.
Yeah. On rice in a bowl. And I'm like.
It was lamb. We did lamb.
And I'm like, okay, where's the gravy? You see the way I boxed this curry?
Like a savage.
Yeah. And then he was like, no, this is a proper curry. Then done a bit of research and obviously, and I tried it before, and obviously the curries that we get en masse over here is not traditional Indian food.
My introduction to curry was, I'm sad to say, was a chicken korma. Which I know people will say, are you a joker? Because that was made for the English, isn't it, right?
Yeah. That and butter chicken, things like that.
Yeah. Chicken korma with coconut rice. Are you crazy? That's what? I used to love that.
And a pashwari naan.
What?
Hey.
Yeah. Come on.
That was I used to love that.
Yeah. Of course.
What?
Yeah.
Of course, but and the thing is, once you go from being a child to an adult, you start venturing out.
You know what's happening now?
Restaurants.
You know what's happening now?
What's going on?
I'm starving now.
And
I'm thinking about what would I get.
Brother, if we have enough time before I head back to Sydney,
let's do it.
I should cook your proper curry from ground up.
What, you want to cook? I thought you were going to say just go out. But if
we can go out. I can cook if we got a kitchen, we've got all the right ingredients. I can cook a decent curry, bro.
That'd be a vibe to film it for the podcast.
You can film it.
That'd be a vibe
for the podcast.
Set it up.
Yeah.
But I mean,
what's the hottest curry that they do? The hottest.
Well, so when you go to an Indian restaurant, there's a variety of kind of different versions or variations of curries. We just have because also different regions of India. Just think India is like Europe, just in one big country. It's so diverse. You go from the south up to the north, the food, the language, even dialect changes, right? But North Indian curries are generally considered a little bit more spicy. Right. And South Indian curries have... so, for example, there is coconut in curries, but in South India, I cooked for you, D, the North Indian curry, right? So my ethnic background or subcultural background is Punjabi. So the region of India where predominantly people wear turbans, the Sikhs, right? Which is not exclusively Sikh. But anyways, my ancestral background's from Punjab, so I'm cooking a Punjabi North Indian curry. So it's not like you're having a korma or a rogan josh. We don't kind of categorize it like that, right?
Right.
So we're just cooking a meat curry, and whether it's chicken, whether it's lamb or whatever. I mean, generally we don't cook beef curry because a lot of Indians, particularly Hindus, aren't eating beef.
Right.
So it's just like you make it with the intensity of spice according to your taste. Okay. So I'm going to be generally doing a medium
I love hot. I love it hot.
See, the thing is though, I'll cook it hot to the point whereby as long as the spice level isn't taking over the taste.
Yeah.
Yeah. And for me, I've got a little indicator where I've got a little sweat on the head and I pat the top.
You and my man does that. He don't sweat here.
Nah. I'm like,
that's him. That's when you know man's under pressure.
You're not Sikh though, you said, right? You're not Sikh.
No, I was raised a Hindu.
Right.
But you want to know something interesting?
Hindus got loads of gods though, innit? That's the religion.
Well, I was talking to Femi about this on the weekend. So Hinduism is a monotheist religion, not a polytheist religion.
Right.
Meaning we believe in one God.
Right.
But then you're going to say, well, isn't there 33 or 330 million odd Indian Hindu gods?
Yeah.
What it is, we consider God so vast, so vast, and we as a human can't comprehend the entirety of God.
Right.
So God is represented in so many different ways for different people. And however you pray to the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 X amount of gods,
right,
you're praying to the one, but in different variations or different versions according to how you relate to God and you interpret God.
So you see the god, the elephant god.
Yeah, Ganesh.
That's the famous one.
Ganesh.
The story behind that.
Yeah.
I heard that story.
Yeah.
Not too long ago, and it's actually I couldn't believe it. I was like, right, why didn't I know this as a kid? Because as a kid, I think I would have been even more fascinated.
Yeah.
Do you want to tell us about the story?
No, you
No, I can't remember the story. That's why I just want you to tell me the story.
You tell us what you know of it.
When I can't remember the story. That's why I'm bringing it up. But I remember when I heard it about a year ago or 2 years ago. My memory's like I've got bad memory. But I remember thinking, oh my God, this is the story of, like, do you get what I'm saying? But give me a breakdown and I'll remember.
So, as I remember, and if I get the detail wrong,
if you don't get it right, your people are gonna
come after me,
chop this
boy.
up and
you're gonna come after me
for it.
But yeah, so a baby was born. They wanted to hide the baby, I think, from a king, so they cut off his head.
Right.
And they cut off his head, the baby's head, right?
Yeah.
They cut the baby's head off, and then they're like, no, actually, sorry, I lie. I think that there was a god, he got angry about a baby kind of interrupting something that was happening, and so they cut the head of the baby off. And then the mother was vexed, saying, why you cut the kid's head off? So that god said, okay, cool, let me kind of fix the thing up. I think it was Shiva with Parvati. Shiva is the god of destruction, and not destruction in a negative way, by the way. So then he was like, okay, I need a head. And there was a baby elephant. So we cut the head of the baby elephant and put it on the body of the headless baby, and that became Ganesh.
Right.
And Ganesh is a god of prosperity and to remove obstacles. So whenever we start something new, and we want that to be auspicious and we want that to begin in the best way possible that it can, often Hindus will take the blessings of Ganesh to remove the obstacles and for something to work well and to be auspicious.
Right.
Yeah. Yep.
You're right there. You look confused.
So what about the elephant?
Yeah, the elephant.
Ganesh.
Just
No,
his body. What about his body?
The body of the
body of the elephant.
Oh, the elephant probably died on the side. I don't know what happened.
You know what? He gave us the short, but you know what? You should maybe if you go on YouTube, there'll probably be a story that you can show the kids, but it's mental.
Yeah.
Like I was just like, wow, blown away because I saw that image a lot as a kid. You know what I'm saying? In people's houses and stuff.
You got it.
I got Ganesh tattooed on.
Is it?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah. I got it tattooed during a phase of my life that was a transition from a kind of a difficult time into a better time. So it was the right time to put it on me. And I had Shiva, his father, Parvati, which is Shiva's wife and also considered the feminine representation of Shiva, tattooed on me. So Ganesh, their son, was the next piece to put on.
Is there anything within your culture and religion that is anti-tattoo?
You know what? There's no rules of Hinduism. Hear me out. Now, you might have some that say, oh, you shouldn't, because they may refer to one of the several main religious texts. We don't have one Bible. We have a variety of religious texts that Hindus can refer to. But no, there's no hard, fast rule of any aspect of Hinduism. There's considered collective norms. Like collectively, most Hindus won't eat beef, but you can if you want to. All right. So my point being, D, is that no, there's no rule to say no, you can't do that. Yeah.
So going back to your religious books, and you don't have one religious book.
Yeah.
Are each of these religious books a book that contains various different stories like the Bible? Not like biblical Bibles. So when you say you have various different books, why not put all of these books together into one book?
Because it's so vast.
Okay.
Humanity, God, the universe is so vast.
Days.
Yeah, sorry?
You don't got the stories for days.
The longest poem in the world is a book referred to, or a poem called the Mahabharata.
Right.
The Mahabharata is a feud between two families who share one same bloodline, right? And within that poem, the Mahabharata, you have one book called the Bhagavad Gita. That Bhagavad Gita is when you've heard of Krishna.
Yeah.
Krishna is talking to his friend and his disciple, someone who he's supporting in the war. Now, there's another story around that. And I'm coming back to your question in a moment, but just to give you context. At that point in time, you've got a guy called Arjun, who's a great warrior, and he's lamenting, and he's on a battlefield, and he's like, I'm going to be looking down on my brethren, right? Or my cousins or my brothers. I can't do this. Like, imagine me pointing something at you to kill you. I can't do that. You're my brothers. And Krishna says to him, listen, amongst many other things, you do your duty and you leave the rest up to me. So whatever your duty is, whether it's a father, whether it's a doctor, whatever your duty is as a person, our belief is that you do your duty, you do it to the best of your ability, and you do it with a clear conscience, and you leave the rest up to God, right? So we have a variety of religious texts over multiple thousands of years, because Hinduism is the oldest religion in the world. It predates Christianity, it predates Judaism. And we have a variety of texts, and we don't have one single authority in Hinduism, like Catholicism or Catholics have the Pope, right? He's the highest person of that religious organization or sect. So yeah, there's no way it will be put into one big collective, because each different religious text serves a different purpose. So it's very, very vast. And I'm no expert on Hinduism, right? But there's no one way to be a Hindu. I know that much. There's no one. Rasta. So Hindus will accept Jesus as much as they'll accept.
To say it this moment. Yeah. Big up my people. So that's that. Rastafari. No, but I hear you though.
Yeah.
I hear you.
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, that's okay. Thank you for that, because I was
okay.
Yeah, people would have tuned in and be thinking, what podcast?
Yeah,
is
wow,
yeah.
This ain't
spiritual thing.
This ain't cut the chat. This ain't what man deals with. Okay.
Yeah.
Now, that was live.
Yeah.
Thank you. Just quickly before we move on,
talk to me.
This isn't going to be a long podcast today. How you finding being in London so far?
Yeah, it's banging. I'm enjoying it. I met my godson for the first time.
Just in case you don't know, this is my son's godfather, and he's kind of technically my daughter's unofficial godfather,
right?
Because obviously, I met this guy when April was like 3
or 4 years old.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And he's silently been looking after her,
right?
Even when she doesn't know it.
Keeping an eye like a guardian angel.
You understand what I'm saying? Like, what's funny is that he told me the other day that she bumped into him
Yeah.
in Australia.
Yeah.
And he's just seen her. She's like, okay. And she just baited herself up. She's like, oh, busted. Then he's clocked. She's with a guy.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
she's moving all did. You're like, yo, what's he gonna say to my dad? What's he gonna say to my dad?
Yeah.
Yeah, Gerard
Yeah.
is a big deal within my family and my friend. But you're having a great time over here.
I'm having a great time, spending time with you, spending time with Kisela Victor. One of my other brethren lives over here, spending time with him, his wife, his kids, meeting a bunch of friends.
You're getting the proper show around and the ghetto show around.
Yeah,
I'm running with these
both sides of the coin, boy.
No,
Both sides of the
Have
coin.
you been down to the barbershops? Have you been down?
Yeah, I've been
Oh,
3-4 times.
Oh, you've been down this time?
Yeah, he's at the barbershop. He's there.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I come through. I land like it's my own place. Nah.
Yeah.
No,
You know, like-
my man landed this. You got your laptop out. Got the glasses.
Yeah.
Got the glasses.
Are you working while you're here as well?
I'm not working
Officially.
on my 9 to 5.
Right.
I'm working on my side project.
Oh, okay. Oh, it's like having a side thing.
Yeah, I got a side project.
I can't do it.
Little creative outlet.
I feel
Because
you.
I'm a boring banker during the day, right?
Yeah, no.
I'm a suit during the day.
It's still quite. It's an impressive job being a banker to be. My mom's a banker.
Yeah, that's right.
I've
You were
been a
telling
banker
me.
for 40 years, so
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Did Damon sort you out your trim?
Not yet. I'm going to grow it. So once a week I shave it.
Right.
So I'm going to grow it long over the next week and a half.
Cutting his
And
hair.
then
Anyway, let's move on.
Why would you not cut his hair?
Let's move on.
I got a look for you. Maybe if you go the sides, like Hulk Hogan, and put it in a ponytail.
Danny DeVito.
Yeah.
Hey.
Like that. You should no?
Twins. Nah, bruv, that's
No,
not
they-
happening.
Moving on. Something that all of us just went on a quick little holiday the other day, and I would say we spent half of the time
Sleeping in our rooms,
well,
napping.
the time that we was awake, we spent half of it educating Chirag on the whole pause. Why? Can we call it
Yeah.
a movement?
Yeah, it is a movement. And you know what the funny thing is? The fact that he thinks a lot before he speaks, but
Yeah.
he makes the most mistakes when it comes to that.
Yeah.
He was killing us on this trip.
Like,
He was killing us.
but
But he started whining himself after a while.
no, but we said once you start whining yourself, you're there.
Yeah,
Because
yeah,
you're aware of
But it's funny though, how do you avoid it? Because
how do you avoid what?
this whole game that we've been playing, yeah?
Yeah.
Like, how do you? Because I don't care anymore. You know what I'm like. I don't care. I will say the most
Outrageous.
Yeah, and I don't business. But now I feel like I have to make a conscious effort to do it. Whereas before, you know what I'm saying? Whereas before you make them kind of mistakes by yourself.
Yeah, but there's things that you might not pause, and why. You understand? Like this isn't exactly what you said, but Chirag at first will say things like, like if we're playing pool, Chirag is like, yo, grab my balls, please. You understand what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Why?
Yeah.
Big why.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And it was funny. And to be fair to Chirag, at a couple of points, Chirag was like, this is tiring.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think we actually had a conversation about one particular topic without a few whys being thrown around.
Getting out of hand.
It is tiring. I find it funny. And it just, I don't know, it just makes you be a bit more creative and think about what you're saying.
No, I enjoy it as long as it don't get silly. Because sometimes it can get silly and it's like, especially if we were talking about something serious, can we just
Yeah,
say,
yeah,
can we, you know what I'm
yeah.
saying? If we're talking about kids or family,
Yeah.
or you know what I'm saying, or something that's serious,
Yeah.
can we just allow the wide thing? Other than that, yeah, run it all day long. That's how I feel about it. Because it can
Yeah.
mash up the conversation sometimes. It's like, wow.
It can, but then, thinking about it, we've probably had this conversation before on the podcast. Will it come to an end?
No.
And should it come
Yes,
to an end?
100%.
Why should it come to an end?
Because you know why? Because when I will start, if we don't, then the kids that are to come.
And
See what I'm
press
saying?
the Y button.
You see what I'm saying? If we don't, yeah, because if I started talking about that in front of my kids, yeah, and saying certain things, they're gonna be like, this is not the English language. They're gonna go to school and start chatting shit.
Yeah.
Okay, so
You get what I'm saying? So eventually, it will seep down to them, and then they'll say some foolishness.
Okay.
And then they just sound
So,
stupid.
Tyrese, we've got a new young G, producer engineer. behind the scenes. You know, some of you have probably heard a couple of the old engineers behind the scenes, but today we've got Tyrese. Big up yourself. Give a signal. Bloop, bloop, something. Yeah. Okay, I don't think they heard that. Talk up the things, rude boy.
Allow him.
Talk up the things. Okay, all right. So, Tyrese, yeah, you're 19. The people of your age group slightly younger and slightly older, are they whying each other? Are they pausing? Is there a new thing? Because this thing started off with no homo, then it's progressively changed to pause and why. And I think Poppy, what Femi was talking about, if you've watched the podcast, you would know Femi and Popcorn are quite close, and Femi's just, if Poppy's here, Femi's with him. Femi's in America, in Jamaica. He's with Poppy, and you know, there's a famous video where Poppy's whining his own mum. Yeah, he's doing his mum's hair, and his mum is talking about God and Jesus. Yeah, and I think he says something like the coming of Christ, and Poppy's like, why? But he hasn't clocked. And then he says it again, like, you know, the coming of Christ, the blood of Jesus, and Poppy's like fire or something, and then she gets vexed, but he's doing her hair. So he's like, nah, listen, you're getting on, come out my hair, like move. I'm talking about Jesus, I'm talking about the Savior. You understand, the blood of Christ, and you're keeping up with this foolishness. And it's just like, right, if you're taking that, you're not even going to allow your mum, which I rate, because stand on business, you understand, no one gets a blight.
Yeah.
But as a young man, you know, is the why and pause and all that within you lot's dialect? Are you lot running that?
Yeah, we are, but I think there's boundaries to it. So I don't do it like with my family and that. I think it should just stay with friends.
Time and a place, innit?
Okay.
Yeah. I feel you.
Okay. I'm trying to think if I've wired my mum.
I'd wire my mum though.
Yeah. I'm gonna. I'll wire my mum. Why?
Me and my mum were the busting joke, so.
What for? Well, because my mum, if you lot know my mum, my mum's active like that, and it will just be funny.
You have that playful relationship,
Yeah.
so it's fine to do it.
Yeah, I'll wire.
All right, I got a question for you guys. At what point does this become toxic as a heterosexual male towards homosexual people? Because if you keep up with this, particularly with your children around, in my view, I mean, look, don't get me wrong. Amongst my boys back home, we do the no homo thing or call each other gay or fags, which is banned.
You use the cigarette one. You still use that one?
Yeah. That cigarette one.
That is
okay, but that's your boundary here. Contextually in Australia, I mean, you're not going to be doing it out in public, but with your boys, that's your bans, right?
Yeah.
But we don't do it to the extent that you lot are doing it, right? Like to the point where you're saying like, I'm going to come on the show. All right, why for that? But you know, like, I'm coming on Cut the Chat, right? In the podcast, like. There was points we couldn't have a real conversation, and then I'm stumbling on my words. I'm thinking, oh shit, what am I saying? And then I'm catching myself out later, and it becomes like kind of preventative to a proper conversation.
It's childish.
But if you all do it enough,
it's childish. You're right.
But yeah, it's childish. But if you do it enough around kids, and they get raised up in that,
100%.
they're going to be like, oh, homosexuality's a bad thing, right? And if they're naturally homosexual, well, how damaging to a child who comes, develops into an adult is that?
It's funny you say that, because surely, if it's going the way it's going, and people are using it, and say you're in TV and you get caught using it, can't someone at HR pull you up and say, well, you're using this term?
This is why people stopped saying no homo when it went to Y and pause.
Yeah, but it's still the same.
It's the same thing.
But this is the thing, It's almost like I haven't said no homo. So you can't lock me. You understand what I'm saying? You can't lock me down.
Yeah, but we still know the
even though the reference is the same. Yeah,
we
know what we're talking about. Yeah, and somebody might make a complaint. Like you see me. The way I look at this, is I find it funny when it has zero reference to homosexuality or homosexuals. That's when for me I'm like, because when if you know like. So like, yo, pass my balls. That to me has got nothing to do with homosexuality.
No.
Nothing at all, which is why it's funny. And I can't tell you the last time I've used it in in a situation where, oh, you've said something gay.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying? Like, okay, so it's almost, so Harvey, you lot will know who Harvey is by now. If you listen to the Harvey's the one that just steals everyone's food. And we was having a conversation a little while ago. We was talking about, I think, going to like a Turkish restaurant or something. And it was, he said something like, we was talking about eating turkey food, and he was like, yeah, how do you like your meat? Yeah. And it's like, yo, why? Why for that? And he's like, you lot, no, whatever. Then he started talking again, and he said like, no, I like my meat well done.
Yeah.
Yeah. But it was just so, for me, there was nothing to do with, you're saying that, and you know, you're making me feel like you're homosexual.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying?
But you're
so
mature.
for me, I the way I've used it and my friends use it, I could be overlooking this, but I don't think if there was anyone homosexual around me, they would be offended. Do you understand what I'm saying? Like I just don't, because we're using it in such a stupid, silly way.
Yeah, but we can't say that because we don't know how they would feel.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
In that
No,
situation.
absolutely. And it's never happened. But we don't know how they feel. But in answering your question, I don't think, like, if it was going the other way, where it was getting serious, yeah, I think it's gone so far from how it originated at the start that I don't really see a potential risk in that. But it is a very good question, because at some point, if you're now doing things and running jokes that can make a type of people feel uncomfortable, then yeah, it has to be thought about and questioned.
But it's not just beyond. Okay, the banter is one thing, and making people feel uncomfortable is another. But for young, influential minds who aren't as mature as yours and mine, right? I mean, it's immature, the banter, but a mature person can distinguish between the reality of a joke and the impact of what it could be around the wrong person. But a younger person is not going to necessarily think like that. My point being is that
if the younger person doesn't think that, then to me that would say that the younger person doesn't necessarily know the context that it's been said.
No, but then it's directly linked to sexuality and homosexuality.
Because some of the things that it's said for, some of the reasons that it's said for are just so, you understand? Like,
it goes that far that way, but then it does eventually. It will come back round. If you're playing it all the time, it just circles back round and can be offensive as well at the same time. No, you know what I'm saying?
Because it might then go back to the negative days upon someone's, oh, you're homosexual, oh my God, why for that? Why? Right now, it's bants, but a young person might start thinking, okay, homosexuality is a bad thing, right? And it might then develop kind of discriminatory or bigotry, that type of attitude for younger people towards a type of person. So that's when I think, hold on, okay, this game might be taking it too far at a point in time if it starts negatively influencing the younger generation versus just being a bit of a tiring thing with,
Do you know what it is?
with your boys.
Do you know what it is? It's a young game that adults are playing. That's what it is. It's a kids game that all adults are playing.
Yeah, it was.
And they're loving it. They're loving the game.
but that's mad, because it's a kids game that was started by adults.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's like
So don't do it around your kids.
But only kids should be playing that game, really and truthfully. And when they come across adults, they don't play that game. Like back in the day, you wouldn't play that game around my grandma. Are you mad? She'd be like, what are you talking about?
Yeah, you're holding your tongue.
Stop chatting, it's foolishness.
Yeah, you're on the slap quickly.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean...
Well, I got educated, I can tell you that much.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm wiring myself.
Yes.
Even in the barbershop today, I wired myself. I wired myself.
Oh, I like it. You know what I saw the other day? Every now and then I see something that just makes me think I really do not want to go back to America. I don't even want to contemplate living there. America just scares me. You know Terence Crawford, do you hear what happened to him?
He got stopped by armed police, yeah. I heard.
On the day of his homecoming parade. So from what I can gather, Terence Crawford is from a place called, is it Omaha? Nebraska?
I don't know.
Once again, we're just doing this for
we're doing this stupidness. No research.
We're zero research. Producer man, you're supposed to be helping. You're supposed to be typing away. Terence Crawford.
I got in trouble for no reason.
Not Alabama. Not Alabama.
I'm sure it's
Wyoming.
Nebraska.
Omaha, sorry.
Yeah.
Omaha, Nebraska.
Yeah.
And he, if you don't know, a few weeks ago, he beat undoubtedly one of the world's best boxers. And he had a homecoming parade. It was also his birthday.
Mm-hmm.
Now, from what I can remember, there's something like 45,000 people that live where he raised and lives now. So it's hard not to know who this person is.
Mm-hmm.
It's extremely hard, virtually impossible to not know who this person is. And so literally, so the whole town, the whole city, everyone's at this parade for Terence Crawford. Plus it is his birthday. He's on the way home. It's like 1:30 a.m. and he gets pulled over for reckless driving. What does that even mean? Do you understand? Like, what does reckless driving mean? If you've slightly veered left or right, even still staying
They
in
can
the
get
lane.
you on. Yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
they can put
What
that
does
on
it
you for
mean?
nothing, really.
So the police have stopped him. He's got his family and he's got a security in his car. There's a gun in the car
License.
that they could see. He was allowed to have every single person in the car has a license to carry a firearm.
Right.
That gun was licensed. So
Is it open carry then? It's open carry state.
No laws
Right.
was broken, and they ordered him out of the car at gunpoint because they said that because they saw the gun out, you know, felt threatened or protecting themselves. They've ordered him out, and it's just like when I heard about this and I read it, it was like this is just another thing to remind people from a certain background.
Yeah, you're still there.
You're still
Yeah.
I can still mess up your day.
Yeah.
Just like that.
Yeah.
And hearing this guy who is undoubtedly pound for pound the best boxer walking on this planet right now. Yeah. He knew that if he done one thing wrong,
They licked him down.
he could. Do you know how mad that is? Do you know how
You know what?
wild?
You know what? Maybe we should have proved a point.
What?
Yeah, maybe we should have proved a point.
What is what?
So just run your mount and get licked down, and then we would have. It would have been World War.
Do you know what? I was having a conversation with one of kind of like, I'm gonna call him my OG, same brother from the barbershop. Yeah, today, because remember a couple of weeks ago, I was talking about one of kind of his elders that had a couple of strokes. He's in a very bad way. And did I speak last week or the week before about another old school gentleman that had a motorbike crash? It wasn't even fast. He was going about 15 miles an hour, Camden Road, just hit his head. It was wet, full gear, hit his head. Had, you know, proper brain injuries. Affected his mobility, was walking with, sometimes in a wheelchair, sometimes walking with walking sticks. See him the other day, walking towards the shop. Walking, but it's very unsteady.
What was you just doing there?
What?
You're changing gears.
Very unsteady. And he comes into the barbershop, he's with a woman, and she's like, yeah, he fell on the train tracks and
What?
cut off his legs. And I'm like, oh, shut
What?
up. I'm like, oh, shut up, stop messing around, shut up. Because there was no difference in him on this day and for the last couple of years that I've seen him. So I'm like, oh, shut up. She's like, no, seriously. Yeah, double amputee. What are we talking about? He lifted up his trousers, he's got the prosthetic, but I'm like, what is going on? Like within a couple of weeks, 2 OGs that you understand in a very bad way, and I'm just like, yeah, you don't know what's around the corner. Anyway, the reason I'm saying this is I'm having a conversation with my OG, and we was like, bad things happen sometimes for the greater good of the masses of people. Okay. So listen to what I'm saying. So my point is, go and walk into a school. Go and walk into a nursery. It's impossible. The only reason it's impossible because someone done something very bad. Do you understand? So every time something very bad happens, we suddenly think, oh, there was a time when you didn't need to wear a seatbelt. There's a time when kids didn't need to wear seatbelts. Can you imagine the injuries that young children, babies would have had? Do you know what I'm saying?
It law.
Yeah.
You use your phone, innit? Using your phone.
You know, bad things happen that make us open our eyes and think, oh shit, we didn't think about that. We need to now make schools no-go areas. I remember going to school and just seeing adults walking around schools and not knowing who they were. I knew you weren't a teacher. I'm just assuming that you're somebody's parent. You could have been a very bad person, just walked into the school and are just trying to scope something. Do you know what I mean? It's mad. It's mad. But, you know, as I said, my point is bad things happen. You know, because there's so many things happen where you will question, how can there be a God if that's happened? Like, you see what the guy in Southport with the girls in the dance class?
Yeah.
When that story broke, and for a certain amount of time, I didn't know what he'd done. I knew what he'd done. He stabbed how many girls?
Right.
No, he didn't stab these girls. What he actually done to these young girls was so appalling and so mind-blowing. I remember listening to LBC and then putting out a warning saying, listen, we're going to talk about this in 30 seconds.
Yeah. If you're not...
lock off for the next 5 minutes. And I turned off. And I said, nah, I need to hear this. So I've turned back on. I said,
Remind us what he did.
Basically, there was a few that he tried to behead.
Kids.
Yeah. So you're thinking like, and I'm not trying to belittle it, but you're like, at first it was like, oh, he's just walked into this place. Juk. No, brother. No. Mental. Do you know what I'm saying? And I'm just like, there's some real messed up people on this planet. But then it does make you think, whoever you are up there, how can you be up there?
I can let this run.
How can you let this run? How can you sit back and, you understand? Because people get run over every day. Why was he not run over whilst he was on the way to do this madness? You understand what I'm saying? Like, things happen that are out of our control. That it's just like, okay. Which is why, you know, you're banned from touching your mobile phone. Pay attention. Why did this not happen to... You understand what I'm saying? There was not anything heinous, but in Wimbledon maybe a year ago, a year before, someone was driving down the road, lost control, drove through a school fence, and the kids were in the... lit down. You understand what I'm saying? It's like, what we do... But then now, you will probably look at certain schools and they've got the proper barriers around us. Because I've always thought to myself, see, when I'm driving down the road and I can see a school and I can sit in my car and just look through that fence and see children playing, that to me is just a bit weird.
Right.
But
why though?
Because it doesn't sit right to me. Because it's just like anyone can just look at these young children.
Well, funny enough,
weirdos around.
When you're in a school playground back in the day, you see people walking past, and you could put your hands through the fence and touch them if you really wanted to. Back in the day, and they could give you sweets. They could come up to you and say, "Oh, do you want this? Do you want that?"
And things have changed, and now I'm seeing a lot more schools with the bamboo, and all of that. So you can't just stand outside a school and look at young children playing. And as I said, now you're getting these bollards that are positioned around schools, you know, to stop if an accident happens or somebody loses control or even just passes out at the wheel, you're not going to career into a school and look down how many children that are just innocently playing in the playground. But when those things happen, I do think to myself, boy, and even things that have happened to people that I know, and I'm like,
Mad.
yeah, you can't mention my man's name. You can't. You can't mention my man's name for a very long time, maybe indefinitely. Do you know what I mean? I would have a hard time to get over things. And the people that do get over things and keep it moving and crack on, and I'm like, right, you lot are strong. But yeah, that took us down a little dark path.
Yeah.
You know.
So you wouldn't go to America, huh, at the moment?
But yeah, sorry, that's where it started. And I just looked and I just thought, yeah.
Well,
like, when is this place actually going to change?
So my boys and I, the boys that you know, Dom and Finlay and Lawrence and Kenny, we was planning to go to the World Cup next year for the football World Cup.
Yeah.
A boys trip, right? For me, I'm not so much into it, but I was going to be with my boys. Bruv, I was the first person to say, no, I'm not going. And then a few of us were like, yeah, we're not going. The reason is, it's dangerous for people of color out there. Like, they picked up some guy who had a valid right to stay in America, right? Whether it's a visa or some asylum thing, he was there legally, right? He got in trouble for some domestic violence piece a while ago. I think the wife dropped the charges, they reconciled, they're all good. But my man had tattoos on him as well. They picked this guy up, mistakenly thought he was, what is it, MS-13? What's that gang? M13, MS-13? Yeah, it was some big kind of Latin American gang. And they deported him to, I think, was it Venezuela or some other Latin American country that they had an arrangement with. Even the Supreme Court said, no, you can't deport this guy, bring him back. And for how long the American government was saying, oh, it's out of our hands now, he's over there, right? And that's picking up people like, so what's happening? And there was an Australian woman, right?
Yeah.
Ex-cop, right? Woman, ex-cop, so not a traditionally threatening profile or a person that will get profiled. Her husband is an American guy, and I don't think they've sorted out their living arrangement, who's moving over where, but they're married. He's a Marine. Anyways, lands into LAX, and she travels heavy with a lot of luggage, right? She's got a return ticket booked. She's got accommodation sorted out. She's got a few tattoos on her. She was a pretty woman, I think Mediterranean background, but Australian, like all of us are quite diverse in Australia. And the guy at custom goes to her, so, you know, why are you here? Yeah, he's my husband. Where does your husband live? He lives out, you know, wherever he lives. Okay. So, you know, what do you do for work? She had changed her jobs, I'm ex-cop, whatever. They detained her. You know the reason they detained her? Because she brought too much luggage. And she's like, I just pack heavy. I want to be prepared for whatever, right? They detained her, strip searched her, kept her in an overnight cell or whatever it is, sent her back home. They're doing that to a woman. They're doing that to a pretty woman too, who's an ex-cop. What they're going to do to men like us?
Firstly, yeah, the fact that she's pretty's got nothing to do with it.
Man said, nah, man, I'll beat that. Let her chew, man. Nah, she's sexy, man. Nah, you can come chew, man. Yeah.
Go on, executive producer.
So, guys, just to let you know that St. Lucia and Dominica was on the red list.
Is it?
St. Lucia and Dominica were on the red list.
For what? This thing?
It's mad. St. Lucia and Dominica.
To get into America.
And then, not allowed to go in America because the islands. Now, I understand why America has done this to these countries, though, by the way. I'm St. Lucian, and I find it amazing. The reason why St. Lucia and Dominica was not allowed into the country, citizens wasn't allowed into the country at the time, the red list, whatever, is because we sold too much passports.
Sorry?
We sold too much passports.
Right, okay. I can see why they did that then.
What?
So
wait, what? Too much?
Yeah.
What?
So listen to this. St. Lucia and Dominica was supporting, apparently, assassins, hitmen,
that's it.
crime, whatever.
Yeah, organized
because
crime.
what they would do is, if they need access to St. Lucia, to the US country or to UK as well, having St. Lucian passport gives you the right to travel to these countries without a lot of
No problems.
yeah, no problems.
Yeah.
So they found out that our Caribbean countries sold over 250,000 passports.
And then man only getting 10 visitors a year.
Other countries don't
Only
have
getting 10 visitors a year, but you got 250 passports rolling in and out.
250,000. What's the population of these men?
So that's what I understand.
But seeing it from that point,
yeah,
it does
cool.
make sense.
So it makes sense. So when I went to Haiti, I'm not Haiti. When I went to Florida, last year, I went to Florida last year, and just to let you know, if you go to Del Rey, to West Palm Beach, and up those places, there's lots of Caribbean people. The community is crazy.
Yeah.
I went there now, and the Caribbean community is mixed in with the Latino community. I'm in the line now, and the ladies from Haiti is speaking like broken French, innit? I understand what she's saying to her colleague who's Mexican, grilling him. She heard me speak. She's like, "Oh, what do you want? Oh, you're from England. This, yeah. But why would you treat him like that? Why would you say those things?" She looked at me shocked. What's going on?
Okay, yeah.
What's going on? What? This me, I'm St. Lucian. I know everything you said. And then you know what she said? If you're St. Lucian, how do you get there? That's when I was like, what? And I was like, oh yeah.
Picture yourself.
Yeah.
I mean, look, we're not bashing America.
No.
Why? Yeah.
2 hands on one.
One hand and 2 feet. Yeah, we're not bashing America. It's just, before it used to be like every year or every couple of years it is a madness. Now it just seems to be every month, just something.
It's something of
It's just like, yo, this place is wild.
Bit risky.
But it is what it is. It is what it is. A few people was asking, do you remember when we was talking about, a few podcasts ago, when we was talking about the daughter is having sex and the mum's giving her condoms and the blessing to have sex. And the husband's like, nah, he's not on it. A few people wanted to know what is our view if it's a boy that's young having sex. What are we telling him? Do you know what I mean? Is our attitude the same? Go on, Lee. What are you telling the twins? What are you telling them?
What age?
16.
16. At 16, I'm telling my boys, if I know that, like, to be honest with you, I'm not really interested in bringing a girl around when they're young, because I just think it's just going to mess up their heads. They don't need all of that yet. They need to know if mum and dad love them.
Okay, that's fine, but we're not talking about that. We're talking about
Before I say the immature thing, can I sound serious, please?
Rate that still.
Right. So, I say that to say, if there is girl around and I can't be stopped, then I will definitely tell him to lick the thing down bareback. Because it feels better. You feel me? You've got to thump that. You've got to do it properly. Why are we half stepping here?
At 16, you're 16-year-old.
You've got to go through it nice. You've got to cut it properly. Because if you don't cut it properly, you're just going to hate me later on in life and say, Dad, why did you not tell me? No, I'm playing. I would never tell him. I would never tell him that. To be honest with you, I would. If it's like, it's one of those things. They're legal to have sex at 16, isn't it?
Sure.
So it's going to be a thing where it's, look, I understand this, yeah. If it's all on her, if she wants it, that's the only time it's going to happen. But where are you going to do it, son? Because you ain't doing it in this yard. And I know they're definitely doing it in that yard. So you can take it park.
But would you not rather?
No, but I would say to them,
would you not rather in your house in a safe environment than round the back of the bus garage?
Do you know why? Before
you understand what I'm saying?
Before any of this thing happens, in my yard, if I don't know the parents, it's not happening in my yard. I'm sorry, I can't do that.
If you know the parents, it's happening in your yard.
If I know the parents, and the parents know that they're dating, then it won't be spoken about. But even to that point there is respect the house, This is our house.
Yeah.
Let's have some respect in this house.
I know what your problem is.
What?
I've clocked your problem. You don't want to walk in your house and hear your son shopping.
Yeah.
Better than your shopping.
That's never gonna happen.
You,
That's never gonna happen.
you don't want that.
That young Willie can't do what this old Willie can do.
Windrush.
You understand? Innit? All I want to know, I like kids ain't stupid in it. I knew when to chop in my yard back in the day.
Yeah.
You know where mum is, where dad is. You know what I'm saying? You know the times. You better be like that around me too.
I
But
never,
if I
chopped,
find out,
I never chopped in the yard. You
it
know?
never chopped in the yard. See?
So you're gonna you've already accepted. Yeah, cool. They're gonna have sex
What?
at 16.
It's gonna happen because I can't tell them no.
You're not going to try to say, hold on, just
No.
wait a few more years.
There's no point.
You know, so
There's
you're
no
just,
point.
so it's more like,
Yeah,
okay,
I don't
just
think
be
there's any point.
responsible versus avoid.
It's like my kids smoking cigarette at that age. If they're smoking cigarette and I've caught them, I don't want them to do it. But what can I say?
Oh, you're mad. You're mad.
Bruv.
We're not doing that.
No, you can't. But
you're
what can
mad.
you do?
Every time.
Well, obviously it'll be illegal by the time they're that age. But vaping
when
or
they
whatever.
come in, and if I can smell, I mean, you can't get physical.
Exactly. So what can they? If they're the legal age of what they're doing, what can you say? You can't live there.
I'm not punching at my son.
Because that's just not.
I'm not
We've
punching
learned
myself.
now in this day that hitting your kids doesn't work.
Hold on, give him the mic. Executive producer.
But you think it's still a solution?
So do you understand? So
You
he's
can't-
saying
hitting kids don't work.
What are you punching at your son for?
I'll go jail for my son.
Why?
What, flicking it down?
If he does something wrong,
Why are you going to
that's
do that?
way out of hand.
Yeah.
I'll go jail for my
But
son.
what's wrong? What,
He needs to
give
fear
me a
someone.
Scenario. Give me a scenario.
So, for instance, if he robbed his mum,
That's not happening.
That's that.
no,
but that-
wait. If he's robbed his mum's money, he goes in his mum's bag, takes some money.
What you'll end up going to jail for that?
I'll slap up my son. He needs that discipline. This is what's going on in this world.
But you do
Soft
understand. You do
men.
understand. You do understand.
Yeah?
Yeah. You do. Why?
The fact that he got to that point that he
you
stole
failed.
from stole.
If
You
he's
failed.
got
No, it's
to
not
that,
failed. No,
you
it's not
failed.
failed.
If
That's
he's
not
got to
failed.
that,
Of course it
you
is.
No, it's not failed.
Of
Let me
course
tell
you
you.
have.
You know what? I didn't steal from my mum
I'm gonna be
because
honest, I'm gonna
my
be
mum and
honest.
dad raised me in a way that's wrong.
Okay, so when you steal from somebody, you learn something and you learn the consequences
No.
of your actions. I stole from my mum. I'm gonna be honest. I stole
Okay.
from my mum. I got beats for it.
Why did you steal from your mum?
Because I wanted the
Because the funds
pound.
weren't available.
But why did you not just ask for the pound?
I don't know. When you're younger, exactly, you learn to understand
You know
to do
why?
something.
So I'm
But
gonna-
hold on, wait,
so you're
wait.
Go ahead.
Before anything, it's made me a person that I am today. I'm a better
Yeah, but-
person.
yeah,
And that's
yeah.
fine.
To
But
you.
somebody
Sometimes-
failed though. Somebody
Someone-
failed.
It's not. No one failed.
Yes.
But life is about failures.
Yes.
And
growth.
it's not. Listen, if I made a mistake, it doesn't mean someone else failed
No.
because of my mistake.
No, as a child, in my book, in my world, it does. And you see the failure. The failure isn't necessarily like a bad thing where it's just like, oh right, I failed, I'm a bad person. It's just that particular lesson was not necessarily instilled in you before you done that.
I think if you're going to do something like that, it's because of their entitlement of what they want. It doesn't mean
But
that
every-
you
yeah, but-
failed as a parent or
No, but-
or failed as what you're trying to
but
support. them.
isn't it-
Sometimes it's entitlement. They feel like they can do things because you haven't disciplined them enough or
There
you
you
haven't
go.
done
Yeah,
enough.
yeah, but-
There you go.
But that doesn't mean you failed.
But
And because
also-
you're saying you don't want to hit your
No,
kids.
but
also-
you're probably looking at the word fail as this huge big. There's so many.
Is it
times
fair?
you
Is it
fail.
fair?
Okay,
Is
we
it
have
fair
to
or
use a
you
different
feel-
word.
you
'Cause
feel
we have to
disrespected?
use a different word because it doesn't mean
No.
you can't say failed.
Of
Because
course I can.
You can't say failed
I
because
can.
the reaction that I'm giving you and you're telling me I'm seeing it like this.
But
That's being logical. It's not going to be.
But you're basing it on how you see it and how you feel about that word. It's not changing the subject Well, I'm changing the subject dramatically. See racism.
Yeah.
See if you tell the majority of white people that they're racist, they think racism is you nigger. And I'm about to say to certain white people, no. If I pull up in a Bentley tomorrow, you will think, oh, what does he do? I wonder how he got that car. That's racist. You understand? We just have to accept that there's so many different variants. So there's times where I've failed my son because I've lost my temper and I've shouted.
Yeah.
I've failed.
I think
I've done it bare times.
Now,
I think
what that does
it's-
to my
I don't-
son is
Go on.
I don't want my son to ever be like, do you understand? That's a failing of me because at the end of the day, my son's 4. I'm an adult. I'm supposed to be able to have composure. You see what I do now with my son? I know that if he doesn't get to bed by a certain time, his behavior is
be a
going to go
nightmare.
off because
Okay.
he can't regulate his emotions. He doesn't. He will just be happy. Then he's tired and he can't regulate that. Now, if I've got him out and I'm rolling up and down, and then I know your bedtime's at 7, but we're out on road at 8:30, and all of a sudden your behaviour has gone left, and now I'm getting vexed at your behaviour.
It's not his
That's
fault,
my
it's you
failing.
fault as a-
Because I didn't get my ass back in the house.
So can we say this then? I just want to say is this, and we can't use the word failed.
Why not?
Because
Okay, you
that's-
bring a better word.
We can't use the word failed.
Because the word fail is triggering you.
It's going to be a trigger for a lot of people.
But
Of course it will.
So let's find a more appropriate word. You can't say failed.
But let's accept it as what it is, because the reality is, the reality is, this is what's happened. The reason you have done that is because there has been a failing from a guardian, an adult in your life. You understand what I'm saying? Like I was with Chirag probably just over a week ago. Yeah. And we're around this woman, and the way her son is talking, the way her son's talking and getting involved in big people's attitude, and I've said to Chirag, you see that? She's failed. Now there's so many different reasons why she's failed. She's failed because she's tired. She's had a long day at work. She's had a stressful day at work. You understand? She's come home, picked up her child, who he's just bare energy. She hasn't got the mental capacity to, you understand, deal with that. And now you're just letting your child get away with things that he really shouldn't be getting away with, that you probably wouldn't let him get away with if it was a Sunday. You understand what I'm saying? Now, because he's gotten away with it today, he thinks he can behave like that tomorrow. And now that when he's out and he's talking to you a certain way in front of people, you going off the handle is mad, because your lack of catching it in the bud, then is now why we're here now. But it's tiny little failings, that have led to this situation now.
Also, as parents, we don't always make the right decisions as well.
Of course we don't.
So if we're not making the right decision as parents, how can we expect the kids? And I mean, listen, my dad. I feel like my dad. I feel I turned out great, personally, but there are certain things that like my parents did that I wouldn't do, and I still think I'm fine. But I can't knock them for what they did. But I just wouldn't do it that way.
Okay.
Because I'm dealing with things differently. Do you get what I'm saying?
So can we ask ChatGPT then
Go on.
for another word for fail?
Because you know what, ChatGPT is our
But
friend.
also, sometimes I think when people get upset about their kids acting, it's because they feel embarrassed. And then that is on you as a parent. Because you're upset. You're putting hands on your kids because you feel embarrassed that your kid's doing that.
Okay.
Do you get what I'm saying?
So let's ask ChatGPT.
Go on.
Yeah?
Go on.
ChatGPT, can you give me another word for the word failed, please?
Absolutely. One common synonym for world could be globe, or if you're thinking of
Damn mad.
Raw.
Listen, hi chat. Can you give me another word for failed, please?
Absolutely. Another word you could use for failed might be unsuccessful. You're very welcome. If you need any more synonyms or anything else, just let me know.
I would take small fail other than
Can you
you're an
more, please,
unsuccessful parent.
Yeah.
Of course. Another one you could use is botched. So it's something
No,
It's
that's
getting
mad,
worse.
yeah.
It's getting worse. It's getting worse.
But
Okay, now I've got what you guys were saying, right? I mean, you can't just fly off the handle and hit your kid for a small mistake or transgression. But
Hold on,
there's
let me pause you there. I'm going to let you finish. Once again, culture and where you are in the world plays a big part in that.
course.
Because what you will see as small,
Yeah.
somebody else might see as
massive.
super
Yeah.
Sure. So
But-
what I was going to say, and which boils down to literally the three things that I'm about to refer to, there's a context of what's happened, where's it happened, how's it happened, the nature of what's happened, and the severity of what's happened, right? So you're not going to just beat your kid because maybe they spilt a glass of drink or
But
some
I've seen
drink
it
at the
happen,
ground. Okay,
I have seen it happen.
Fine. But I mean, I think we've evolved to a point whereby most people could realize and recognize, hitting your kids for certain situations is just totally uncalled for. But if there was like they did something really, really bad, really, really poorly, even if you raised them and explained them they shouldn't be doing a certain thing,
Give
right?
me a scenario.
For example, okay, most of us are going to tell our sons, okay, be respectful to your mother, be respectful to women. When you're at school, there's certain boundaries that you can't cross, right? But let's just say, and this is just something coming to mind, your child, through stupidity with his mates, got dared to lift up a girl's skirt at work, at school.
Work.
Sorry,
At work.
At school. You know, I would contemplate giving
And
a
what
smack.
do you think that's going to do?
Well, for example, in certain countries, when the consequence is so severe, you see very little of that crime, right? In Singapore, they don't have a big drug problem because the penalty is death.
Adults.
As adults, right?
Adults.
But my point being, there's still at a certain age, at a certain point in time, again, depending about context, severity, and what's happened, there will be a point in which, okay, if I do something so bad, I will get a bad consequence, right? And that's when I think that if I go back to my childhood, I wasn't beaten, but I was hit several times, and I knew there's a certain point in which I can't do a certain.
Let me
cross.
ask you a question.
Yeah.
So this energy, and I'm not saying it in a bad way. Are you keeping the same energy as an adult? So are you keeping the same energy? So let's say your wife or your partner, in your world, does something so outrageous. Are you putting your hands on them?
No.
Right. So for me, putting your hands on somebody is an act of, it's a lack of discipline on your end.
Sure.
It's
okay.
frustration.
How come we can hit our kids on our yelling?
Okay, fucking. Okay.
No, but that ain't that the point.
Okay.
That ain't that what you're trying to get to?
No, but
I mean, it's a fair point what you're saying.
No, but yeah, but sorry, I took what you said out of context. So it's frustration, it's anger, it's a lack of discipline, and it's a lack of self-control. Yeah. Now, if you're dealing with a child, your brain hasn't developed. Yeah. Remember, whatever we're dealing with, your brain is about 20 or 30 years older than this child's brain.
Yeah.
Yeah. Secondly, I don't want you to not do something out of fear. I want you to not do something because you know it's wrong, and the consequences that you are going to receive shouldn't be pain and violence from somebody who, in essence, my job is to protect you and keep you safe. I can't protect you and keep you safe on Monday and affect on Tuesday, beat the living daylights out of you, or not to go to that extreme, put my hands on you.
But also,
like I can't.
Also, as kids, kids are supposed to push boundaries.
Yes, they are. That's
what
their job.
I learned. That's the biggest part of learning you can ever do, because that's how you learn to read people. That's how you learn to cope in life. For example, if I go into school and I call my teacher by their first name and I get away with it, I might feel like I have a different I can talk to them on a different level now. Sure. But if they cut it out, I won't. So everything you're doing as a kid, you're testing. It's always testing. Like my kids, like most kids, they're at that stage now when it's bedtime. Oh, now they want water. Oh, now they want a banana. Oh, now they want this.
Can I ask you?
And the thing is, I done that same trick.
Yeah.
And I suppose their kids will do the same trick.
Can I ask
and
a
all they're
question?
doing is pushing boundaries. Because you know what? If I give them that water, then tomorrow I guarantee they're gonna ask for water. And then it might be, they want some rice and chicken. And then it might be, they want to bake a cake.
I'm hungry,
but it's all about boundaries and how you
hungry.
You understand? You
Okay,
got
so
to
let me
manage
ask you a
these
question.
boundaries.
Then. Let me ask you a question. When you was younger,
Right.
Yeah.
was there a beating that you said, you know what, I deserved?
My mum and dad never hit me.
Is there a beating?
My mum and dad never hit me.
No.
Okay.
No. I got beaten for so many different things. I had a great childhood. I remember I got beaten for setting the carpet on fire.
Yes, that's a mad thing though.
So, but this man, hold on.
No, but I'm gonna get to that. And you know what? Do you know?
I done this with the iron.
Do you know how many kids get beaten because they walked out into the road? You know why that's happened? Because the parent got scared.
Okay, so no. So I'm just saying, what you said, there's none that you deserved when you was younger.
No, not.
I'm gonna be honest. I got beaten when I was younger for leaving the iron on, and leaving, and then it fell on the carpet.
Cool.
And you know what?
That's not your fault, though. That's not your fault.
That is hold on, wait a second.
The fact that you got beat, you're right. That's your parents. Your parents should have never hit you for that.
Hold on, wait a
It's an
second.
accident.
Hold on, wait a second. It's
Go
not
on.
an accident.
Of course it was
an accident.
No, because I got the iron and left it on.
Doesn't
of
matter.
course.
You didn't think it was going to
But I
happen. though,
knew,
did
no,
you?
but I
Go on.
knew it was wrong to leave the iron on overnight when you're sleeping. I knew that.
Okay.
Oh, so you did it on purpose then?
No, it's not. I did it on purpose.
You
It's
did
just
by
like
accident, that's what
I
I'm
wanted
saying.
more heat in the room, so I left the iron on.
Oh, so
you put
now
the
it's
iron on-
changing.
Wait,
No, but I'm
So you use the iron as a heater.
No, but listen.
Basically.
Listen.
It's not
Yeah.
from- oh, yeah, so
No,
iron around my
but
bed.
I'm saying to you, I got beaten and I deserved it.
No, brother, that's mad.
And it doesn't mean that I've had a bad childhood.
I'm not saying that you had a
No,
bad
no,
childhood.
no.
I
I'm
just
not
think,
saying
like, do you know what with
anyone's had a bad
that? I took the mick. I could have set the household on fire.
Let me ask you a question. Did anyone tell you, how old was you?
I was about 8, 9.
Did anyone tell you 8, 9?
Yeah.
Why are you touching the iron at 8,
Oh,
9?
I was taught how to iron when I was 7 years old.
Cool,
Yeah,
fantastic.
I was ironing from young. as well,
Fantastic, but you see that, yeah? You see
Yeah.
that? I would have handled that differently. I would have handled that differently.
I hear what you're saying, but I'm saying to you now, like, I understand you, but I believe now I'm at my age, I deserve to get beat for that. That was crazy of me.
I
Because I could have set the whole house on fire.
You could've.
My sister's downstairs. My mum could have been out. Whatever. You know what I mean?
No, he sounds that to me. He can't wait to start beating the youths.
No. You're going mad, Lee. You're going mad. That's wild.
Yeah.
I'm just saying to you, I know when I deserve something.
But also, I'll tell you this now, yeah?
I don't
and I
think
don't
you
know
need to.
whether the family, like maybe the generations came before you. You see me, yeah? Do you know how bad I would feel to hit my kids over something stupid? And I've nearly lost it with them because remember I got 2 of them acting wild. And in the moment, yeah, when you get there, and kids were gonna do this to you, it goes without. If you, like, we've been through so much to get to this point now in life, 2025. If you don't feel bad, then you definitely got something wrong with you, or you definitely need to check someone out. Because when you see kids doing something bad, yeah, in front of you, especially when they're young, you can see that they're just trying to work it out.
I understand, but you would feel bad. And my mum actually felt bad. She did, but she actually schooled me and told me the reasons why.
The fact that she felt bad, she knows she done wrong.
No, she didn't want to she was hurt that she actually had to discipline me like that. It's not doing wrong.
The fact that
because
she
even
felt-
down to this day,
Okay.
my mum would say to me, yeah, you deserve to get beat that day. But you know you did wrong, and I felt bad for
Bro,
like beating you. But
I mean,
You know what?
deserve-
You
understand-
remember, you're inflicting pain on a minor.
Guys,
I'll give you an example.
It is what it is. Just break it down,
Yeah,
though.
you're inflicting
You're
physical
inflicting pain on someone
and you know,
to
and you
prove
know,
a point.
And you know why?
That's
you know-
madness.
You know why they
What
say
do you really think about it?
never to hit and discipline your child when you're angry, because you cannot regulate the amount of strength
You're
that
using, so you
and
justify
force.
it by saying
You-
it's because of that, but you
can't-
don't know what you're
can't
doing.
regulate
You're losing your mind.
to be honest, she justified it.
No, but I mean-
I'm supporting, but she justified
No,
it.
absolutely. Go on.
What you're saying is making me think, to be honest. I'm like going through my head now, I'm thinking, how traumatic would this be for a child? You know, if I hit, I mean, I don't have a kid, God willing, one day I'm
Let
a
me
parent.
pause you there.
Yeah, all right, go on.
See Casella Victor. See the twins. Imagine how they see the world.
Sure.
I switched on my son the other day, yeah, and I forgot about this. I switched on my son the other day. We're driving down the road, and I'm talking to him, and he goes through these phases. He's going. It's just a phase of learning and thinking things are funny. Driving down the road, and I'm saying, "Yo, Papa, something. This is exactly what he's done. So, this the front of the car. He's like that. Papa.
Just blanking you.
Brother, the way I've winged this car over, but I thought I bust my tire. Yeah. Onto the pavement. I'm getting emotional now. I thought I bust my tire, and I'm like, Papa! And he's like, I said, I'm thinking, is he having a fit? Is something happening?
Which is winding you up.
And the fear, yeah. And I'm like, but so I've shouted at him because I'm thinking, you need to hear me now.
Yeah, you're not listening.
Hear the severity
You're not listening.
of what's happening.
Yeah, you're not listening.
And then when he's kind of smirked and then he's looked and then he's realised, I'm like, Papa, we can't play that game. Like, we can't play that game. I said, Papa, I really thought there was something wrong with you. I really thought you were sick. We can't play that game. And he was like, well, I would have had to have gone to a hospital. I said, yes, Papa, we can't play that game. 3 minutes later,
Doing it again.
because I said to him, you scared me. 3 minutes later, Daddy, I'm sorry I scared you. I won't do it again. And I've like, I proper welled up because I'm like, you're very aware. I love this stage where you're very aware. Like, he doesn't apologize for the sake of apologizing. There's things that he will do, and he will like, I've forgotten about it, and my man's apologized like 5 minutes later. I'm like, rah. So you was building your Lego, you was doing what you was doing. You understand? You ate broccoli, smiley faces, your custard, and it's there like, yeah, that was off key. Let me apologize to my dad. Do you know what I mean? Like, but so going back to my point, the way they see us as giants, do you understand? Like, we're giants to them. Do you know what I mean? And they understand, like, he understands adults have big muscles. Adults can do anything. Yeah. Uncle Femi's his hero. Uncle Femi plays football for Crystal Palace. You understand what I'm saying? Like we do things. So for him to now look at a giant, a physical giant, and that's gonna instill pain, physical pain.
So, you know what's funny now? Having this conversation and seeing how people think, yeah. Boy, then twins ain't for you. I'll tell you this now. But because I could beat them every day. I could literally beat them every day because the boundaries that these man push, even down to Paw Patrol. They drove the car across the TV screen. They drove in it, and I was watching it. Then it's like, oh no, he's flying across it. Boom. Now they know. You know that. You know. And you're doing it in front of me. I'm my pussy on. You're taking man for idiot. Because you ain't even got the peas to pay for this. And I will take it out of your peas and I want to bust you up the same way. Because they know they're doing it wrong.
But as you said, it's their job.
To push boundaries.
I'm not condoning beating and abusing. What I'm saying, in my head, I feel at this stage, it might evolve to say no at a point in time. And maybe when I'm a parent, God willing, if I become a parent, any singles ladies out there? Yeah. Anyways, no, but in all seriousness, it might evolve to go, yeah, no, I think what Dee and Lee and the likes were saying are right. But because being hit on occasion, not regularly, not over petty things, and that's why I said, what's the nature of the transgression? What was the context? What was the severity? You know, it wasn't just an everyday thing.
We feel it hasn't affected us. Yeah, go on.
Yeah. So what I'm saying is that it shaped me into a very decent person with a high moral compass and knowing boundaries. Right.
Now, what I want to say is, we think it hasn't affected us.
Yeah.
I can't remember how it did affect me. I can't remember if every time my dad's raised his voice, I've flinched. I can't remember. You understand what I'm saying? I can't. So even, and I kind of don't disagree with you. I don't disagree with you. Violence just isn't the way. So there are other ways.
Yeah, you know? I mean, violence feels purposeful with malicious intent.
Brother,
right?
It is what it is.
This is how I perceive violence. Is like, you know, there's an intent and it's malicious and it's to inflict pain. Now, when you're giving your kid a smack on the bum, as an example, not a big punch in the face,
but it's not a tap, so it's hard enough for them to know,
to realize, right? So my point, but my point being is that, you know, you're not coming from malicious intent to cause injury and significant pain. Discipline of a smack on the butt, on the ass, is to say, I'm putting you in check. What you did crossed the line, and you're having to deal with it. Now, I see your guys' facial expressions. I'm reading the room. But that's how I think, because that's how I was brought up.
100%.
Right? Now, you know, I think when we leave this podcast, I'm going to be really contemplating on this, right?
I hit April once, and I think I've told this story before. Where we was living, small apartment, and we had a fish tank on, I think it was on the fridge, one of them little small fridges. Had a fish tank on there, this before they dipped out. And she's gone over and she's touched the fish tank. And I'm like, don't touch the fish tank. Cool. She's gone back over and she's touched it. I said, yo, what did I say? She's looked at me and done that.
My kids do that all the time.
I've grabbed her and I've smacked her hand. It hurt. I knew it hurt. My intention was for it to hurt. She never done it again. But that was the quick way. In my head, it's just like, you touch that and pull that down, it's a mad thing. But in my head, that was a quick way. Looking back at that, there were other options because she was still in a cot.
What?
She was still sleeping in a cot. Cool, I'm picking you up, you're going in the cot. You understand? Or we're now in darkness, or we're now, the consequences, we are now doing something that you don't like. And it doesn't have to be violent. You understand? It doesn't have to be a physical, do you know what I mean? Like, and
well, you know what? Imagine doing something like that. Imagine you hit your child to discipline them for something, yeah? And after you hit them, and it wasn't even a major hit, because sometimes these things don't have to be major, yeah? It could be something minor. Like, it could be the small, because I play fight with my kids all the time, and I'm quite rough to a point where I'm thinking, rah, you can hold these kind of licks, because they get rough, and I meet them at their same energy.
Yeah.
But I do sometimes, I'm like, rah, they're holding licks, and they're giving me licks. But imagine you hit them in discipline, yeah? Say, for example, when you hit her, she was never the same to you again.
Yeah.
I think that would be more devastating than anything else.
Yeah.
But you see it go on and go on, and you're like, you're pandering all the time.
Yeah.
But you can see they're a bit scared. It's like, I don't want to come to you for that.
Yeah.
Nah.
fair.
Because them things can change. One event in your life can change everything, you know.
No, fair.
You know?
Fair.
One
Fair.
thing.
And you know,
I remember jumping on my dad all the time and messing about with him. And I remember one time, something was going on. We were late for somewhere. Me and my brother was ramping. And he slapped me here on my leg. And I was like, shock. And you know what? Never really jumped him again, like messing about. You know, and we talking about this has brought it up for me. Because I remember how I was with him. And at one time he slapped me. Never really wanted to get like I thought like maybe he's going to beat me up. Do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
The psychological thing behind it. And I wonder if he ever noticed that.
Possibly. I mean, look, we've been rolling for a while. It was supposed to be a very quick podcast, but this is what happens when you're with family. I mean, look, I suppose we're going to end it with having twins ain't easy.
It ain't easy.
Yeah, having children
Ain't
is
easy,
not
boy.
easy. You know, if you're getting to that point where you're feeling frustrated, and your first point of call is to raise a hand, I'm gonna ask you to speak to somebody, speak to a friend, speak to a family member, speak to somebody, because I think if it goes down that road, it's a very, very, very dangerous place and a hard place to get back to. You know, our job as parents and as adults, as guardian, is to keep our children safe, happy and content. Their job is to push boundaries. That's how they learn, and that's how they know what they can and can't do. And I think for us as adults, you know, we know better. And if we know better, let's do better. Chirag, it was amazing having you on the podcast. I'm not even going to lie. When I said for you to come down on the podcast, I just done it just to keep you fucking quiet.
Hey.
Do you know what I mean? But your input has been, you know, welcomed and valued. So thank you very much. Yeah. Young producer round back. Why for that still? Young producer Tyrese. Go on. What? You
don't know why you are.
Press the yeah, it didn't work. Okay, it worked. Young producer round back. Respect. You know, keep doing your thing. I like your energy. We like this. OG producer, thank you very much for having us. Once again, rate, subscribe, tell a friend to tell their neighbor, to tell their mum, to tell their, you know, aunt. We're here, cut the chat. You know, hopefully you've enjoyed this episode and there will be plenty more episodes to come. Anything to say, Lee?
Nope. Dead there. I'm trying to go home. I'm hungry now.